Hello everyone, this is Mr. Shaver again. I'm going to do a quick demonstration on some carving techniques. There's three types of carving I'm going to show you today. You can see my hands are already dirty, I've been working. Some regular subtractive carving. It is what it sounds like. You are removing material. Some relief carving. You are relieving a shape to make it look like it pops out, so you're carving the area around it. And a sunken relief, mostly used if you've ever seen Egyptian art where there's the hard outline and then it's rounded out on the inside. So I'm going to do all three of those. There's lots of different ways to carve. You can find a million examples with lots of different cool techniques, but these are just some basics to get us started. So I'm going to be using loop tools. Loop tools come with different ends. Like this one has more of a square end, this one has a rounder end. Some have points that are really helpful. These are the ribbon loop tools, so you can see they're kind of fat. They're not rounded out, so they're going to do a really good job of removing the materials. So let's get started on this. I'm going to move the camera down so you can see what I'm doing and show you these three different types of carving. So first thing I usually do if I'm going to try out some new loop tools is I will go ahead and just do some subtractive carving. Look how nice and easy that came out. Now this slab has dried for a couple days, so it's not super wet, but it's not also too dry. Let the loop tool, whatever one you're using, let it do its job. You do not have to work fast. The loop tool will remove the material. You don't have to press that hard for it to do that. So it comes off in nice little ribbons here. So these are the different subtractive marks I can get. And you can do this, to create patterns, to create lines. It's pretty great. Now, let's say you have a shape that you've created and you want to remove that shape for some reason. I can just draw out just an organic shape here and go, okay, I want this shape right here to be kind of indented into my slab. So I'm going to scoop it out. So I'm going to grab one of the loop tools I find to be helpful. This one has a round end. I'm going to go along the edge and remove that material first, because I'm going to cut it down to as far as I want. Now it's important to pay attention to how thick your slab is and how far down you are cutting. You can always cut a little bit more away, but it's really hard to add the clay back in. Well, it's not really difficult, but it's kind of a pain. So then I'm going to go through and add or carve out a little bit more of this clay. You can see that this clay is still a little bit soft. Maybe it'd be better if I waited a little bit longer, but I think it's just fine for now. Now you can see some of the loop tool marks in here. That's fine. It's pretty easy to go in and smooth the clay out and make it look really nice. But that's subtractive carving. We have two more carving types that we're going to do. The next one is relief carving. So let's say we want to have something pop out from our slab, and we don't want the background to go down and away. So we're going to smooth that transition out between our shape that we're popping out and the background. So I'm just going to draw kind of an organic shape here I think might be fun to pop out. You could be really specific depending on what you want to do. So here's my shape that I want. I want this to pop out from the background. So what I'm going to do is, as I'm carving, I'm going to angle my loop tool slightly towards the shape. So as I'm carving it out, that background is going to transition away from my shape that's popping out and be smooth. So I'm going to carve in towards it. Slight angle here, you can see that. It's coming off nice and easy. Again, I'm paying attention to how much clay I have to work with. Because if you really want something to pop out, like really far, you're going to need to start with a thicker slab. My slab isn't super thick, so I'm not going to go too far because I don't want the clay to become unstable where I'm popping this shape out. But I can get in there probably a little bit more. So it depends on what you're doing and what your plan is and the effects that you're going for. Clay's got so many different things it can do. All right, so right now, this shape is popping out. But this is not a really good transition. You can definitely see where I carved. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly kind of carve away at those ridge areas. And you don't have to press down very hard. This is where you really want to let the loop tool do its job. And just remove a little bit of that material. Now you can always, as you're carving, go, you know what, I got this shape and the clay is a little bit soft and I think it'll be easier if I go back in just a little bit when it's drier. That's fine too. I'm making it work a little bit right now. And then you can use your finger, you can use some water, you can use a popsicle stick and just kind of smooth that out, right? So now my shape is popping out. It's 3D just from me carving around it. So that is relief carving. The last one you can try out is sunken relief. Like I said, you're going to see this in Egyptian art a lot, where they draw out the hard outline of what they're doing, and then they're going to roll in the insides, kind of round out the inside edges. When I've done this before, I like to do it with like an eyeball shape. So I'm going to draw one of those, because if you were carving an eyeball out, you do have that kind of hard outline of the eyeball, and then it's going to be rounded on the inside. So here's my kind of eyeball shape I've got going here. And I want this to be rounded out on the inside, not the outside. So once again, I'm going to angle my loop tool, but I'm going to start an angle from the outside towards the inside. Okay. Again, nice and smooth. Let the loop tool do all the work for you. It's not really trying to get it in one movement. It's like you're trying to just slowly work the clay. I always try and tell my students, the clay will do what you want it to do. It just might take a little bit of time. All right, so now I've got that basics. It's kind of cut out, but it's not rounded. I'm going to do the same thing I did to this shape on the outside, but I'm going to do it on the inside and just kind of round out those transitions on the inside. And then if I wanted to, I can go in and start doing details and stuff with the eyeball. So it's kind of hard to see, but you can see it's a little bit rounded on the inside. Now, I would spend more time on these carvings, really smoothing them out, making them exactly the way I wanted to. But those are the 3 types of carvings that I wanted to show you that we will practice. So it's, again, the regular subtractive removal carving. It's the relief carving, getting something to pop out and look 3D. And it's the sunken relief, kind of rounding out that inside edge that can also have some very cool effects. But again, always play before you use them on your project. Try the loop tools out, see what they can do, have extra clay on the side. And hopefully it was helpful, and I'll talk to you later.